I'll try to stay awake long enough to hear the end of this shit. I have a little message that I want to convey to you motherfuckers. Now, Bulo, legendary Bulo is here. Legendary Bulo, if I start talking too goddamn long, tell me shut the fuck up. Roxanne, just go like this. Roxanne is here. Roxanne, if I start talking too motherfucking much, just do like this. Do like this. Now, but there is something, there's a message that I think is very important that I want to get over to you guys. So I have to tell you, I'm a storytelling motherfucker. Just some of you guys say I'm a preacher. Well, my dad was a preacher, so it might sound like I'm preaching, but I consider myself a storyteller. So I have to tell you a story. Okay, I was born in 1959 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Okay. And we moved to Watts, California about 1962. When I left Pine Bluff, Arkansas, it was on a bus that had a colored section. So my mom, myself, and my brother had to sit in the colored section of the bus, in the back. The colored section of the bus was in the back. There was colored water fountains in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. White only signs everywhere in Pine Bluff, Arkansas at that time. It's a story. So we moved to Compton, California to get away from the segregated South and the colored only signs. And I remember as a little kid looking through a newspaper. I was around 5 years old. And I seen an ad in the newspaper. I could read pretty good at 5. I seen the ad and I read good enough to know that the toy that I wanted was on sale, and I thought it was a cheap price. So I made the mistake of telling my father that this toy was cheap, that the price was cheap, and it was on sale. I'm 57, and I will never forget the lesson that my father told me when I told him that I thought that toy was cheap. He told me, now I'm a little kid, what do you know about cheap? You don't have a job. You don't go out and work for nothing. Every morsel of food that goes in your mouth, I put it there. I put this roof over your head. I feed you, I clothe you. Without me, you'd be dead, you'd be lost. Man, I'm fine. I'm like, wow. I don't get it. I think to myself, look, Dad, I didn't ask to come here. I don't even know how I got here. But he broke it down for me that, and it's something I never, anything that you really, really, really want, you must be prepared to work for. Because ain't nobody gonna give you a goddamn thing. Work for. Work for. So that message of work for led to my first job at 10 years old. Took me 5 years, but I was determined to get some kind of job. My first job at 10 years old was a paper boy. I delivered newspapers. That was my first job. I mean, we were chased by dogs and every goddamn thing else to try to get them that newspaper money. Collecting, any newspaper boy, any form of newspaper boy will tell you that collecting is the shittiest part of the job. And collecting means after you deliver them people's motherfucking paper all month, you gotta go knock on their door and ask them to give you that goddamn $2.35, whatever the fuck it was, for that month worth of papers. And them motherfuckers didn't want to do it a lot of times. They did not want to pay that fucking. So collecting was the suckiest part of being a newspaper boy. So I went from being a newspaper boy to washing dishes at a restaurant. I washed dishes, I went to school during the day, and I washed dishes at night. That was 14 when I started paying Social Security from my job at a convalescent hospital washing fucking dishes. I remember coming home a little too late. I was walking because I wasn't old enough to drive. From the convalescent hospital, after I'd been in school all day, washed dishes for another 6 hours at the convalescent hospital, I came home a little too late, and my dad was waiting on me at the front door. Broke my nose, blackened both eyes. So, when Mr. Fletcher said be home by a certain time, walking at night, your ass better be home by a certain time. That's another hard lesson that I learned. And I learned the lesson. I have a message, trust me, just stick with it a little bit longer. I have a message. And I went through my powerlifting career. Went on, I always worked. Worked at the United States Post Office about 27 years. Always work. Work. A lot of you motherfuckers want shit yesterday, and you think because you put a couple years in, you deserve something. You don't deserve a motherfucking thing. If you want it, work for it. Nobody owes you a motherfucking thing. If you want it, work for it. So I worked because it was beat into me that if I wanted something, I fucking had to work for it. I went through my entire powerlifting career, lifting against the best lifters in the world while working a full-time job at the United States Post Office. All during those 20-some years of competition, I never had a sponsor. Never earned a fucking penny from weightlifting. And I was fucking multiple time world champion. Devoted every second, every free second, every fucking day. Rain, sleet, snow, birthday, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, whatever the fuck it was. The first thing that I did was work the fuck out. You have no idea what dedication is. And you think you earned something because you went to the gym, goddamn it, for the last 2 years. You ain't earned shit. Not a fucking thing. So I worked, and worked. Never got a fucking sponsor. So when I did get a sponsor, listen, when I got a sponsor, when somebody said, CT Fletcher, I want to sponsor you, I thought it was the greatest goddamn thing in the world. Because I worked all them years, 20-some years with no fucking sponsor. Nobody thought I was worthy enough to sponsor me. I worked for the post office. They sponsored cycling. They sponsored the cycling guy that won all the world. I'm not gonna call him. I know you know who he is. They sponsored him. The post office sponsored him. And here I am, an employee for 20-some years, a world fucking champion. They never thought about sponsoring my ass. Never mentioned it to me. So when I did get an offer of sponsorship, I thought it was the greatest thing on earth. I was the happiest person on earth. And I went around and I told everybody I got a motherfucking sponsor. And then, Bulo, I heard a couple guys, I'm not gonna say their name, they said, if you working for a sponsor, then you're working for chump change. And I'm like, oh man, that pissed me off. Because the next time I got a sponsor, I had two sponsors, but next time I got a sponsor, they paid me more money than I ever made working for the United States Post Office in 27 goddamn years, 20 something years, almost 30 years. They had paid me more money than I made working for the post office, so I was fucking happy. I was ecstatic that I had earned this from my love, from what I love to do, what I did for 25 years, all them fucking years for free. I was now getting paid to do it, and that to me was a dream come true. But after a while, I thought about what those guys said about you working for chump change, and I said, well, you know what? Let me be bold enough to ask, do you think it's possible if I might sit in on my contract negotiation? Do you think it's possible for me to be around the fucking table when you guys with the neckties on discuss how much I'll be paid? Do you think it's okay if I'm in the room while you discuss my pay? Do you think that would be all right? I asked my higher ups, my bosses, if that was okay. And no, it was not okay. I was not allowed to sit at the table when the negotiations was going on concerning me. And then I heard them say, this was their response to me. Don't worry about it, CT, because we have your best interest in mind. We're looking out for your best interest, CT. We are looking out for your best interest. Warning, warning sign. Buzz, when you hear a motherfucker say that he or she is looking out for your best interest, buzzers and lights and shit should be flashing. Warning, warning like a motherfucker. When you hear that shit, because nobody can look out for your best interest better than you can. Nobody knows your best interest better than you do. Fuck you looking out for my best interest. I can look out for my own goddamn best interest. I don't need you to do that. I'm intelligent enough to know what my fucking best interest is. I don't need you for that. And I refuse to be on your package and to sell your shit, and I can't sit at the fucking negotiating table. I don't get an invitation to sit around the table. I'm leaving for the Arnold tomorrow. And at the Arnold, I will have my own motherfucking booth representing my own motherfucking brand. CT Fletcher brand supplements. CT Fletcher merchandise. And my message that I'm trying to tell you is this. If this kid who sit on the back of the fucking bus when I came here can do that shit, you can fucking do. Get your fucking ass up and go to work. Time to work out. And this supplement line is just one more thing that they say couldn't be done. And I just love doing shit that people say can't be done.